Hello again and welcome back. In this video we're going to be soldering some of the connectors for the BaxEDM arc generator. First things first, on his BaxEDM webpage you can download and print, of course, a manual for the generator. It's a very detailed, I think 37, 36 pages of stuff. Basically tells you everything you need. All the control codes, voltages, interfaces, whatever. Very good. I suggest reading it before doing anything. And also there's on the web page also the knowledge base link somewhere here, which has a lot of different little details for the connectors. Your main points will be from the manual I just showed, pages 7 through 10. It shows all the connectors needed and their connections and what they do. Then from the knowledge base I found this, a very handy tip for how to solder the power connector, the speaker connector, to the LIDS cable. Then there was this X3 connector for the sense input, how it looks like when it's disassembled, and you can find all the little pins. They're very easy to solder. Thank you, Mike, for putting this up there. One less headache. And finally, this probably will not be today's stuff, but how to connect basically the output, the analog outputs and all the other outputs, inputs into the K-flop analog card, because that's what he uses and what's possible to use. So I want to start with the easy one, the warning light. What could go wrong, right? So we have on page 9, warning light X4, the plug for it, 3-pin, very simple. Just 2 is used because, of course, positive and negative. And we have the actual housing. And the LED. There was a warning about this, that this is polarity sensitive, in terms of if it doesn't light up, pop it out and turn it around. Interesting connections here. That's butyl rubber, I think. So that might be just a waterproof, the connection, if you put this on top of a housing or something. Just push and twist, okay, that's easy. But the wire connectors are, I think, screwless. Not sure yet how to connect this, because usually a round wire goes to a round hole, so I would suspect that you just push it into the round hole. There, the outer ones. And the inner ones are basically just for pushing a screwdriver in to unlock it. That's my assumption. We'll see. We'll see. And of course the cap. Ta-da! It's a light. Okay, the connector. To get it open. Oh, screw. Right back. Okay. Once you remove the little screw, that is too easy to lose, you just pull out the inner core and let the other parts fall out, because that's way easier. So that's the part we want to solder, and you can see the little part numbers right there, or pin numbers 1, 2, 3. And we want to have a positive lead on number 1 and negative on number 3. And there is also ground connector on the inner part and strain relief. It's just a light, it doesn't need to have a ground connection. And pro tip when you're assembling stuff, especially if you have something at the other end of the cable already, always make sure to put all the parts in the correct order on the cable before soldering to connections. Ask me how I know. So that goes first, then that. Okay, so that's the order, and we need the 3-pin cable. I'm not actually sure yet where do I want to put the actual light on the machine, so let's error on the cautious side and I don't know, meter. That's fine. Apparently this is meant to be installed on the housing of the machine or on a separate pole or something, so that this doesn't need strain relief, because technically there is no strain relief built in. There's a little portion here that you can probably shove the cable in to get some strain relief, but something. Well, let's try. So, because this is a plastic casing and we don't need the shielding, we can just unravel the whole shield off from here. Okay. Now let's pick some nice colors. This has green, red and blue. So I think I'll clip the green off. On these wire clippers, the one with more teeth grabs the insulator, and the one teeth grabs from the end, and when you pull it, it grabs the wire and pulls off the end of the insulator. But these might be cheap ones. I always say don't skimp on tools. Get proper tools because they just work. There's no headache with them. Yeah, there's nothing said about these warning light connections. I'm just gonna test it out with the wire. Okay. So let's take a there's a little, so you push the tool in, you can feel it lock in place, and you can twist it, and there's in the round hole kind of like two jaws that open up. You can put the wire in and release it. Okay. So this is probably meant for, I think, for solid core wire. Maybe that you can just push it in and it locks in place. There's a light. Okay, so that's good. And for the other end we don't need much. Put that first, then the black part. Rubber. I always prefer to do this before stripping the wire because it's a heck of a lot easier to thread all the parts on when this is just one solid piece. The strain relief. Let's see, how much wire do I need? It would be nice if the strain relief itself would be connected to the screw that connects the metal housing that acts as a ground. Because then you could just use a shielded cable and crimp the shielding under the strain relief. And if somebody actually knows how to properly unravel a shielding like this, please do tell in the comments. I was left thinking about this green wire because 3-pin connector, 3 wires plus shield. It is not connected according to the manual. It says number 2 not connected. But I was thinking now that I'm soldering it onto the connector, I might as well use the green wire for the number 2 just for future reference, because if there comes an update like another light, like there's 2 different colors in here, for example, one could have red indicating that it's running, and then you could have green, or for all good, I'm ready, or typical yellow, flashing yellow to indicate there has been a problem. There's a machining error of some sort. Yeah. Multiple LEDs with just a few wires. Possible. Just checking the fit of the wire into the plugs, because I was thinking of pre-thinning these ends just so that I have less to worry. I can just put it in and reheat it and it pops into place. I purchased this unit about a year ago from eBay. It's been very nice. It says DSK T12-D, and it claims to be ESD safe. I don't know, but it works. It's very, very nice to heat up. Done. Very, very much enjoyed. The only thing it didn't come with was a place to put this in. But just bent something from a welding wire or something. And then I have a flux core soldering wire. It says SAC 305, 0.8mm diameter. I think this is lead free. Let's put it that way. Silver solder is completely something else for me, at least. Okay, we wanted red on number 1. Number 1. Then the green one on number 2, that is unused, but we want to prepare for future. Oh, and about the temperature, I'm using 300 because that's what I tested to work with this solder wire. I tested basically on a breadboard once, soldering just jumpers, and looked at what temperature gives me a clean, non-foggy looking solder joint, so it's reliable. Yeah, I would say that's very nice looking joints. Not sure if you can spot it on the camera, but very good. Good enough. Let's put the other half on. Done time. Okay, here we have it. The first casualty. our warning light. Yay! So now it should work. Of course I can't test it right now because I have no generator here. Well, I have it in the box right there. But it's not connected to anything. I don't know if you... Actually no. It requires the voltage to be on for this to light up. At least according to the manual. So, one wire done. Next wire, next video. See ya.